Am I live? That is the question. Hey, hey, hey. I'm not sure if I'm live today. I think I am. Yes, because Facebook was giving me the business today, but I think I figured out a way around it because the devil will not win on today. Can you hear me? Can you see me? My body's in motion. Can you guys hear me and see me? I'm not sure if it works. That's the only problemo. It says I'm live. If you can let me know in the commentos, if you can hear me and see me, that would be awesome. Hey, 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 it's me, Tiffany the Budgetnista, your favorite financial educator. And I've been to educate you and your babies on today. Um, I think you can see me. I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. Facebook has me all jacked up. I don't know. Can you hear me and can you see me? Let me know in the comments. I want to teach a class tonight about some easy, fun ways to teach your kids about money. So if you can hear me, can you hear my voice tonight? Tonight, because Facebook won't let me know. No, honestly, if not, I'll just delete this. But I don't know if you guys can hear me. See. So again, I'm Tiffany the Budgetnista, and I thought I'm always teaching you guys financial education lessons. So I thought, would it be a great idea to, oh, you guys can see me and hear me. Yay! I could weep. You don't understand. All my life I had to fight. Yes, it's on Zoom. Good, right? I had to do a workaround. Is it clear on Zoom? Because like I'm telling you, I tried to go through Facebook. Facebook said no, but my God said yes. So yes, I can hear y'all. I can see y'all. Woo, 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 woo. Yes. So I'm going to teach this class another time. I did it a little earlier, but it was private and you weren't able to share. So it's perfect timing. I feel good. I feel relaxed. If you have not shared this video, please do. I'm going to show you some fun, easy ways to teach your children about money. Because here's the thing, studies have shown that kids that get pre-financial education lessons or financial education lessons when they're young become more responsible adults. But it's like, duh, right? But the thing is that most kids don't have access to financial education lessons. I was fortunate in that I worked with a friend of mine, Angela V. McKnight. She's an assemblywoman here in New Jersey where I live. And we worked on something called the Budgetnista Law, and it made it mandatory for middle school students to get financial education in schools. So New Jersey is one of the few states that already had it in place for high school. So Angela and I are actually going to go back to the drawing board and actually try to get a law in place for children in elementary school as well. But what happens if you don't live in a state where financial education is taught to your child or children that you know? What do you do? So I'm going to show you some things that you can do on your own, and then I'm going to give you an ultimate resource. I'm excited that like I'm just excited that we're live. Woohoo. So click the share button. Tell your sister and your cousin and them that I'm live. Tell them all. Tell them all. Now I know from now on that we're gonna go live with the Zoom because the devil will not win tonight. All right. So if you don't know, I actually used to be a preschool teacher for 10 years. I over 10 years, probably about 12, and I have my master's in education. I thought I was going to be a principal, but clearly that didn't work out, thankfully, or I wouldn't be the budgetnista. And so I spent a lot of time, studying children and how they learn, and then actually in practice of children and how they learn, and of course, financial education. I've been doing that for 10 years as the budgetnista. So I blended that all two together. So let's start if you have really little ones. So I'm going to cover financial things you can do if you have little ones, things if you can do if you kind of have like middle-aged children, and then things that you can do if you have teenagers. Okay. So first and foremost, with little ones, you have to understand that pre-financial education lessons look different when kids are really small. It's not just this is $1. Oh no, you lost me. Am I gone? Am I gone? Am I gone? Can you guys hear me still? It's, somebody said that we lost you, but you tell me because I mean I can see myself now. I'm freezing up. I swear, all foregoing. Is it still freezing up? God had a better plan. Okay, but I'm like, am I? because I don't know. It's looking like it's going in and out. Let me know, because maybe we'll plan this another day. Okay, you can hear and see me. Okay. So if it keeps going in and out, then we'll plan it for another day because I can't. Right? All right, you can hear and see me clearly. Okay, good. All right, so let's start with little ones, middle, teenagers, little ones. If you've got really little ones, pre-financial education looks like this. It's not just like I said earlier, this is $1. It's more like, it's things like counting, it's things like math, numbers, but it's also things surprisingly like rhythm, sharing, giving, community, right? Donating, less versus more. That's the bedrock of personal finance. So your little one learning to share, learning that this is less than this, that's financial education. Your little one, like even with them singing songs, so if they can clap to a beat. So when a little one is like this, A, B, C, what they're really doing is saying 1, 2, 3, because if they can clap and keep a beat, then they can count. And if they can count, they can start to recognize numbers. If they can recognize numbers, they can start to do math. And we know math is a precursor to money and financial education. So do you see how like it builds upon each other? So with kids 2 to 4 to 5, it's not necessarily pushing this thing about money on them. It's really the foundational things. And some of the things I used to do when I taught preschool, there was a fun lesson that I would do, and you can do this for your baby or your niece or your nephew, is that in preschool, kids get a job. And so I would give kids in my preschool, like there's a job chart. Almost every preschool has that. And so, but I would assign and literally make it their job. So it's important that when you're teaching kids, you give them the right words. You don't have to make up pretend words, because if you use pretend words, they're going to model your behavior and use pretend words as well. We want to give kids the right words. So this is your job. Miss Tiffany has a job. That's what they used to call me, right? And so you have a job too, Jaheim. Your job this week is to put away the blocks and block area. Or your job this week is to set the table. So Jaheim knows I set the table. If Jaheim sets the table really well, he gets $2. And I would give him Monopoly money. Because girl, I wasn't getting away with no real money in the classroom, right? So I would give them Monopoly money. And then if he does an okay job, then he gets $1. And then if he didn't do the job at all, because kids are free to choose, just like adults are, and sometimes kids will refuse to do their job, and that's okay. But then he would get no dollars. Now, when they got their Monopoly money, like prior to that, I would have them with a shoebox, and we would call it their bank account. We put bank on it. Bank starts with B. We're talking about letters now. You see how you can infuse that in with your little one. And so they would get their money, and right away I would tell them, don't forget to put it in your bank account. Their bank account would just be right by their cubby. They put the little Monopoly money right in their bank account. And then every 2 weeks, I would open up the school store. And I would just, the school stores and stuff like tchotchkes I bought from the dollar store. But what they would be able to do is they would be able to go to their bank account, withdraw. These are the words I would give them: withdraw their money. If this is resonating with you, give me an amen. Have you shared this video? Have you let people know that we've given the tea tonight? Please share, please share, please share, because if we can get these babies together, they won't struggle like us, okay? Go to your bank account, get your money, and they would come to the store. And so this is where matching comes into play. So let's just say this was $1 at my at the school store, right? So I not only would I put a 1, the number 1, so they can start to learn numbers, another pre-financial skill. I would also trace the shape of $1 underneath it, because this is what kids we often do, because oftentimes at 2, 3, or 4, they don't know their numbers just yet. So instead, they have this much money in their little hand, and they come and they see this and they want it. It says $1, but that 1 doesn't mean anything to them yet because they're still really little. But the tracing of $1 does, because at that age, they can match. They have their $2 in their hand and they say, do I have this? 1 to 1, I do. I can get it. Do you see? That's a pre-financial education skill. But let's just say this is $2 and I have a 2 next to it, which doesn't mean that much to a little one, but they see $2 traced, but they only have $1 in their hand. So I've taught them how to match. Miss Tiffany, I only have 1 of these. Well, I'm sorry, Jaheim, that means you don't have enough. Do you see? And so this is a fun activity you can do with your child at home, giving them a job, paying them in pretend. Monopoly money is always good because it looks close enough to real money, putting it in a bank account, a shoebox, and allowing them to spend that money. And oftentimes I made things extra expensive on purpose that would force them to have to save for 2 or 3 weeks if they really wanted to get that teddy bear. Because I wanted to encourage them that if you spent your money every 2 weeks at the school store, then you're never going to be able to afford to get the more expensive items if you spend all of your money every time the store is open. Do you see? Good. Tell your friends, tell your cousin, Miss Tiffany is teaching. Okay. So that is a way to really teach really young children age-appropriate financial education. Now let's move on to middle-aged children. And so that is like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-ish, right? And so here's a way to teach that age of child, because most kids like crafts in some way, especially when they're like a skew a little younger. And so we would actually create savings boxes. And I've done this time and time again. I've helped so many Girl Scout troops get their financial education badges with savings boxes. And a savings box is merely another shoebox. And this time you are really trying to get your child to think about and to forecast what they truly want. And here is what that looks like. So you get a savings box, you get a shoebox, you get some, just like the same way you would do a vision board, some pencils, crayons, glue, tape, and then magazines. And we talk about the things you want to save for. So that conversation is important because kids, they like to know that you're listening and that you're caring about what they are desiring as well, right? So you could talk about what you're wanting to save for and allow your middle-aged child to talk about what they want to save for, and let's find it in the magazine. So we're cutting it out, we're talking, and then we're gluing it onto our savings box. It's just a shoebox. And then on the inside, an encouraging note to yourself. Brianna, you go, girl. I see you saving. So you're teaching children positive affirmation. You're teaching children forecasting for what they're forecasting for items that they're wanting. And you're also teaching them savings, right? And so it's not just enough to have a savings box. Put it someplace where they can see, just like your vision board should be someplace where you can see. Their savings box should be on their dresser, someplace they can see. And every time they get any money, I don't care if it's $1, 50 cents, whatever, some of that money should go in that savings box, because you want to create the habit that all money is not meant to be spent all. That some money is always meant to be put up, no matter how small the amount, right? You get 2 pennies for one in that savings box. You get the $5, put at least $1 or 2 in that savings box. So you're going to teach them that habit, let them become a habitual saver, right? And then, you can decide maybe in a month, 2 months, you can decide what that time frame is to say, or even better yet, you can create a specific goal. So maybe they're wanting a water bottle and it's $5. And so, you're checking that savings box regularly and you're like, well, how much do you have now? $3. How far away are you? $2. Do you see? And so it's important with kids, with children, they don't care about your bills. If you try to get them to care about your light bill and things like that, they're not going to care. If you want them to learn financial education, you have to align it with what they already care about. They want a water bottle. So make that savings box about the water bottle. We can shift the water bottle to other things that are more meaningful later. But in the beginning, really, you're trying to teach the habit of every time you receive, you also give something to yourself. Okay? Got it. Sabrina, you come on in, Sabrina. We're talking about how to teach kids about personal finance in a way that's age appropriate. We went over financial education for little ones. That's ages 2 to about 5, 6, 7. For middle-aged children, that's like 7 to 11, 12, right? So let's talk about teenagers. Child, I got me one, okay? So Supergirl, who is my bonus baby. So my husband, before we got married, he already had a child. She is now 13, and I call my husband Superman, so I call her Supergirl. And so Supergirl is now 13, and this is what we do now with Supergirl. So Supergirl gets her allowance, so she's learning to contribute to the household. She gets an allowance, not regularly, but one thing we do with Supergirl is we have taught her to split her money in 3 ways. When she was younger, she actually had a piggy bank that had 3 sections. I found it on Amazon. And now that she's older, she kind of has like a wallet, like a little jar, and like another little jar. So like kind of like in her room, not necessarily a piggy bank because she's grown now, right? So anyway, here's the 3 sections. And this is why it's important to get this in your teen years, because these 3 sections are the same for adults. So I'm trying to get her to an adult mindset. So she has her money segmented into spending, saving, giving. Spending, saving, giving. And saving is really a two-parter, saving slash investing. But she's young, so we talk about investing, but we're not investing her money yet. So for adults, it would look like spending, save, invest, giving. Those are the 3 sections. So I stress giving because giving activates abundance. And when you give, you are signifying that you know that there's excess in your blessing. That means I have more than enough. And you're attracting even more when you give. And giving is just good for the soul, right? So every quarter or so, we look at that giving amount and who do you want to give to? What do you want to give to? Maybe you like animals and you want to give to a shelter. Maybe you like, you want to give money to the homeless people, because she always would ask, can we give money to a homeless man that we would see? And so I would say, yes, let's go get money from your giving jar, right? So that's one. Savings, we opened her up a bank account. So she would put money in her savings jar. And then when she knew her father was making a trip to the bank, she would ask to come, and she would take her savings jar. Sometimes it was coins, whatever, and she would deposit that money into her savings account. And so I would say now every birthday we pull up her savings account so she could see all the money that she saved and her father and I have saved for her. And then the spending jar, this jar is the most important jar. Okay. Here's the most important jar. The most important jar is the spending jar. Well, the most useful jar for day-to-day lessons, because in that spending jar, so I use that spending jar like this. In the beginning, when Supergirl was really little, we would go someplace and her dad would just get her whatever she wanted. We would be at Target, get any doll baby, any this, any that. I'm like, sir, is it her birthday? Am I unaware? We can't just get her anything because we're not teaching her anything. So I started to put her on a budget when we would go someplace. So I would say, hey, Supergirl, before we go to Walmart, Target, whatever, your budget is $5. Let's just say, do I have extra money in here? Because I like visuals. Your budget is, no, I only have $3. Your budget is $3. I would actually give her $3. It would always be like under $5. Tell her, put it in your pocket. If you lose it, then you don't have any money. Give her budget. Your budget could be $1. Your budget could be 50 cents. Don't worry about the amount. Keep it as low as you want to keep it. And then what it would encourage her to do, because kids love autonomy, because on average, her father was spending anywhere from $20 to $25 if we went out on the weekends, like for outings. But if I gave her a budget of $3, she actually loved having her own money, and she loved Staples. So she would be in Staples comparing this pencil to this marker. Okay, this is $2.99. This one is $1.99. How much do I have again? So I literally would see her with, like, I remember when she got a little bit older, she got to be like 6 or 7. She would literally be like using my phone as a calculator to add up how much this plus this equals, and did she have enough? What, right? And to the point where we would go someplace, and before we got there, she would say, Tiffy, because you're Tiffy, what's my budget? Got him, right? And so if we go someplace, and so that's when she was really young, I would give her budget. Now she earns money from like birthday, doing chores or whatever. So now you have a spend jar. If you want to know what your budget is, I would say go look in your spend jar. If the spend jar is nothing, then you ain't got no budget. If there's $2 in there, you got $2. If it's 10, you got 10. So she's older now, where she's like, oh, you going to Staples? Can I go? Yep. Girl, I'm not getting you nothing. You better look in that spend jar. Ain't nothing in there. You still want to go? No. Okay, it's up to you. And so I'm going over ways to teach your children about personal finance. If you have not shared this video, you are playing your friend, press share, giving activates abundance. And so I truly believe that the way to shift our culture, the way to shift communities, the way to shift families, the way to shift neighborhoods, right? The way to shift individuals is you have to do so through education. I really believe that. And so, like I said, I don't know if you know that I used to be a school teacher for over 10 years. And I used to write like little stories for the kids to teach them when I couldn't find the story. And one of the stories I actually just recently turned into a book. This is the cover I just printed at Staples. Happy birthday, Molly Moore. Happy birthday, Molly Moore. And so I'm excited about this book because it teaches pre-financial education lessons. I'm going to show you. So in one of the pages. So in the book, Molly Moore like she is it's her birthday, she's receiving all these gifts, and she starts to get like multiples of gifts. So this is like one of the pages, right? So it's like I think it's like this page says like where you get to, in the book I list some of the gifts that she gets, but it rhymes. So I might say like four hats, three cats, a bike and a ball, the doll, and a doll. And so remember I told earlier in this live that I said rhyming is a precursor to counting, because if you can rhyme, then you can start to catch a beat. If you could catch a beat, then you can count. And if you can count, then you know numbers. And if you know numbers, you can do math. If you can do math, you can learn money. So you see, I told you I used to be a preschool teacher and I got my master's in education. So I purposefully made that it rhymes, so it's fun, the book. But then also too, I laid out the presents, because there's a series of pages where Molly receives presents, and then I rhyme the presents that she's receiving, but I lay them out in such a way so when you read it to your reader, you can say, how many hats did Molly get? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, remember, counting precursor to financial education. How many bikes did Molly get? 1. So it's laid out like that on purpose. So I'm really excited about teaching pre-financial education. And so the book comes out in April, which is Financial Literacy Month, but I bought 10,000 copies and I'm doing a pre-order through Kickstarter. Here's why. I wanted to do a Kickstarter campaign because what I want to do is I want to raise money to hire teachers to write additional financial education. If you listen to me tonight, I just went over 3 ways that you could teach your little one, your middle-aged child, and your teenager financial education in a way that's age appropriate. I can only do but so much. My brain is like, yes, I can come up with maybe like 10, 20, maybe even a 50 different financial education lessons, but I'm still limited in how much I can do. And also too, my specialty really is like young children when it comes to teaching in this way, right? So I said, I want to do a Kickstarter to raise money to hire other financial education teachers. I know a ton of amazing financial education teachers to create lesson plans, curriculum, activities, and then on her site, mollymoore.com, to have those lessons there to give them for free to you, to parents, to schools, to libraries. Like I said, in the state of New Jersey, I got a law passed with my friend Angela V. McKnight, Assemblywoman Angela V. McKnight. But what if you don't have a law in your state? Does that mean your child does not get financial education? No, because at mollymoore.com, you can go and pull age appropriate financial education that is listed by age range. So you know that you can do these activities, you can download these lessons, and you don't have to wait for your state to catch up. Because financial education, honestly, it is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Look how we're all struggling now. People work, make money, and still can't make ends meet. It's like, no, if we can get the babies, they don't have to struggle like we struggle. So if you'd like to pre-order or to be on the VIP list to pre-order the book during the Kickstarter campaign. So that's what the Kickstarter campaign is going to allow you to do. You're going to be able to pre-order my first run of the book, and then I'm going to use the money to hire those financial education teachers to create that curriculum so I can give it right back to you for free. And then I'm also going to use excess money to give away about 1,000 copies of this book to low-income children, because I did a lot of research and found that children that live in low-income communities, there's like a book drought. They do not have books at home. Oftentimes their schools don't have great books. And as a result, they are falling behind developmentally. And they're missing out on great knowledge like financial education that's necessary to become a responsible adult. So I thought that as you pre-order a book, that every time you get a Molly Moore book, I also then can give a book to a child that would not normally have access. So that's the purpose of the Kickstarter. 2 purposes. 1, to hire financial education teachers to write even more curriculum, lesson plans, and activities so I can give them back to you for free. 2, to raise enough money to print at least an additional 1,000 books to give through libraries, nonprofits, and schools to children in low-income communities. And it's all through your pre-order. So in exchange of you getting the book, you give a book. In exchange of you getting a book, you actually get financial education. Oh, and I didn't even mention at the back of the Molly Moore book, I put a couple of lessons and a couple of activities at the back of the book. So even if reading as a parent, or auntie or uncle, at the back, when you get to the back of the book, I think I have it here. I might not. No, I don't. So when you get to the back of the book, you can extend the lesson with questions and activities. So I'm really just proud of it. If you're wanting to join the VIP pre-order list, go to mollymore.com. That's MALI more.com, and you can join the VIP list. I think last time I checked, we had thousands of people already. Not even I know we had thousands and thousands of people on the list. Like I said, I only did a pre-run of about 10,000 books. And the next order, because the book doesn't come out until April, will be in April, and it takes about 2 or 3 months to print. That means if you pre-order now, you'll get your book before April, and if you wait until April, you get your book April, May, June, July, like July. So, you know what I'm saying? So yes, go to mollymore.com. Could someone type that in the comments for me? mollymore.com, and lock in your spot for pre-order. The Kickstarter will start in a week. And so I'm just excited about it because this is what I want to be, like a first in a series. And I just think that that through education, anything is possible, right? Right? When you know better, you can do better. I remember every time I graduated from college or high school and when I got my master's, my dad would give me and my 4 sisters the same speech. He would say, this world can take a lot from you. This world can take money. This world can take your house. This world can take food, shelter, sometimes clothing. It can take a lot from you, but something that this world can never, ever take now that you graduated from high school, from this college, you're getting your college diploma, from your getting your master's. The one thing that this world cannot take from you is knowledge. It belongs to you forever and ever and ever and ever. Knowledge is something that can never be taken once it's given. Never, ever, ever. I don't care if someone tortures you, it's still inside you. I don't care if someone, even if you get Alzheimer's, just because you get Alzheimer's, it doesn't mean that the knowledge is no longer there. It's just that your brain cannot access it like it normally does. That knowledge is something that stays with you forever and ever and ever. And I just want to bless the babies with that knowledge that if I can get your 2-year-old, your 3-year-old, your 4-year-old, maybe when they're 40, they don't struggle as much as we struggle. Like enough already. Enough already. And it can be done in a way that's age appropriate, that's fun, that's engaging. Okay. Right? Money doesn't have to be boring. You know, I'm not boring. So I've already helped you. I've literally helped nearly 1 million women get on state and stay on financial track, but I want to do more. And so I'm like, you know what? I know through you I can help your family. Well, what if I can speak to your baby directly? What if I can give you the tools and the resources to raise your baby the way you wish you would have been raised, to raise your baby in the way that like you wished your school would have taught you? And so we have the opportunity to do that. Like I said, I'm really proud of it. I'm holding this because even I don't have the book in my hand, right? Like this is literally like I have like printout from like Staples, but like literally my publisher just called me today. Like, did you get your proof yet? I haven't gotten the proof yet. So I'm excited. Like I said, I was only able to get 10,000 copies printed. And so that's it. Once those are done, I won't be able to print another run until April. So if you want to get your advanced copy from that first run of Happy Birthday, Molly Moore, go to mollymore.com. You will join the VIP wait list. There should still be some spots left. If there's not, they're going to shut the wait list down because I want to be able to guarantee if you're on the VIP wait list, you're definitely getting a book. So once we get to 10,000, I will shut it down because I don't want to over promise, obviously, and under deliver, have somebody waiting for 5-6 months for the next run of books to cover. So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to teach the babies. And honestly, I just found out recently, this is how I believe in alignment. Let's talk about alignment, okay? Alignment. I found out recently, someone posted on social, she said, do you know what Molly means in Swahili? I was like, no, I don't know. I'm actually Nigerian, but I didn't know. I said, what does it mean? Are you ready for this? Mali, M-A-L-I, in Swahili means wealth. How's that for alignment? Mali means wealth. And I was like, wow. Sometimes life just be working out. Okay, working out. And so, yeah, Molly means wealth. I don't believe that's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I didn't choose her name because her name meant wealth. I just liked the name Molly. And I thought it was a really super cute name. And it was an African country. So I like that too. So I just think that that's just awesome that Molly means wealth. So again, if you want to be one of the first people to get the first run of Happy Birthday Molly Moore in your hands before April, before it launches, before you can order and have to wait, then go to mollymore.com and lock in your spot for the VIP waitlist. And when Kickstarter starts, you will get an email to say, girl, grab your copy before they run out. And I will send it to you before April, and you can read it to your baby. Do you guys have any questions about the book, about teaching your babies? I'm just trying to look at some of your comments. Oh, thank you. Such kind words. You guys are awesome. Um, okay, so what questions do you have? I'm just looking to see. What question? Incredible. Yes, right? Molly means wealth. Isn't that incredible, Michelle? Like, I just was like, you can't make those things up. Like, the fact that Molly means wealth, that's just to me, I don't even know. I was like, what? When she told me that. And I Googled it because I was like, let me see. Because people be blowing smoke sometimes. No, she was absolutely right. Molly indeed does mean wealth. So it's just a special thing. Um, let's see. I'm just looking to see if you guys have any questions. Oh, thank you, Lisa. She said, I appreciate your enthusiasm. I honestly truly love teaching and helping. I just want to make sure you guys don't have any questions. Any questions, any comments? All right, well, I am going to bid you adieu. Hopefully, I will see you during the Kickstarter. I hope you will grab your copy of Happy Birthday, Molly Moore. I believe our list, our VIP list, is halfway filled already. We launch next week. And thank you. Thank you for always letting me be a part of your life and pouring into you. And because as I pour into you, I get a chance to pour back into myself. If you haven't already, click share on this video because I'm sure someone can use some advice about how to teach their babies. And if you miss, my breakdown of the 3 ways that you could teach a elementary school, well, really young children from ages 3 to 5, then middle school, then teenager financial education. As soon as I hang up, you'll be able to watch the replay. Okay. Okay. All right. So now I just got to figure out, if you know me, now I got to figure out how to hang up because I don't be doing stuff. I'm like the worst. I'm like, how do I hang up? Hmm. Oh, there it is. No, wait. Okay, end meeting. There it is. Okay, bye, guys.